Hi, Power Brain. I wish I could give you a hug. Today, we're looking at random words that I acquired or caught through reading and listening. So the first word I'd like to talk about is the word disorder. How do I place it into the permanent memory sphere? So I'm going to share my screen with you about it. There you are. So random words acquired, words that I've caught through reading or listening to other people. And the first word I like to talk about is the word disorder. So the word disorder is, for me, the number 61. And 61 is a cheetah. So remember the cheetah. Then I added a 0, and the 0 is the permanent memory sphere. So I now can have an experience and place the word disorder into the permanent memory sphere. That's the address, 610. So the word 600 is church. So I put it into a church. And it just happens to be that the number 10 and the consonants de are toes. So far we've got a cheetah and toes. And the RD gives me a rat. So we have to add a rat to it in a church. So there we go. We've got all the ingredients. So let's get cooking and create disorder in a church. So I take my shoes off before I go into the church, and then I sit down barefoot, and dozens of rats are running over my toes, and that's really disgusting. So I'm pulling up my feet on the seat, and I see in the far left-hand corner, I see a cheetah looking at me, not at the rats. So I got the hell out of there. So I just managed to get out of the door, shut the door, slammed the door close, and I could hear the paws scraping on the door. The cheetah tried to catch me. Okay, so that's my story. So I've got now a permanent story, a permanent experience in a church. That's the address, 610. And in that church was complete mayhem. There was complete disorder. So I've now placed the word disorder permanently in the permanent memory sphere. Now we're going to look at the word exaggeration. I kid you not. I used to write exaggeration like this. Even after I practiced, I always slipped up and I spelled exaggeration. Sometimes even, I'm gonna exaggerate a little bit. I most definitely have spelled the word exaggeration like this at one point. And I thought, that can't go on like that. I must do something about this. I've got a power brain. I know how to memorize things. How do I get this word into the permanent memory sphere? So now that's the correct spelling again. So the X for me is a k sound, a hard G sound. So, and that's like a K. So that's the C here, like in cage. Exaggeration, the give the double G here up to here gives me this. So in cage, there's also an E. So I have to spell after the double E, I have to spell it with an E. Okay, so the cage helps me with that. Cage. Cage gives me all these letters. Okay. I know I have to spell exaggeration with an E at the beginning. So this is not what the elephant is about, not yet. Okay, and what's left over is the rat. So I've got a rat there, and the rat is there. So I'm telling a story about a cage and a rat. And arbitrarily, I just placed it into a concord, painted on the white door a red X. It's standing on an airport, and I use this as a note taking, as a notepad. Okay, so that's the notepad. So the concord is k is 7, and the cage sound. So these sound exagger or cage. The k sound is 7, and the j sound is 6. So 76 is a cage. So 776 is a cage in a concord, and there's a rat in it. So even after all this effort, I still used to, in front of another teacher, my boss, I spelled once exaggeration like this, and I was so embarrassed. So I needed the elephant to help me, to remind me I have to spell it here with an E. Okay? So the elephant is looking after the rat, looks after the rat, so the rat doesn't escape. So now I've got my story complete, and I've got now the word exaggeration in concord as a notepad, as a note-taking device. Okay, there you go. That should be enough for today. I'm going to make the same video again with my eyes closed. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Ciao.